What is linguistics? Linguistics is the scientific study of language. So we are studying different characteristics of linguistics. Objectivity. Objectivity, that anything that we discuss under the very heading of linguistics is not based on personal feelings or personal opinions. Linguistics, as it is science, it must be very systematic, clear, and rationally understanding. The objectivity principle says, as linguistics is a science, so all the theories that are verified must be scientific, must be examined on the scientific basis. So, objectivity means that a critical approach where we are in principle suspicious of any hypothesis until some experimental evidence is brought to bear on the point. So whenever we make any hypothesis, we need that this hypothesis must be studied very critically. For example, if we say that in English, the S sound is added to make any singular noun plural, right? And this S is sounded, or its sound is sir. But when we find that the same S is added to words like dog, and it becomes dogs, this sir is pronounced as z, not sir. So our hypothesis about the plural suffix is changed. First, we said that the sa makes a sir sound. The S makes a sir sound. But now we have found that after a word, after a letter like g, it gives a z sound. So here we make a principle that whenever sa comes a voiceless sound, it is sir. Whenever an S comes after a voice sound, it is z. So this is how we prove our hypothesis, and this is how we give objectivity to this to the linguistic principles and theories. Objectivity is actually more or less synonymous with empiricality. Empiricality means all the principles are judged objectively. As I said, that they are not based on feelings or not based on personal opinions. So linguistic studies should be empirical. They should be as scientifically verifiable as any other phenomenon, scientific phenomena that is verified in a very scientific way. Two basic meanings of this term that it should be studied empirically. It has two meanings. First, examination of phenomenon takes place under controlled experimental condition. The linguist examine that phenomenon. For example, just I cited the example of plural S. The linguist studies it under very controlled conditions. He does not subject the things to his opinion or somebody else's opinion. The phenomenon is verifiable and goes through different experiment to prove that the notion is correct. The results being available to direct observation and judgment. Whatever the results are gathered from this experiment, they are verifiable, and they are open to observation. Anybody who is doing the same experiment can read the same results. If replicate, the same result should be the same judgment, and the same judgment would be obtained. So anywhere in the world, the same experiment is made with the same phenomena, the results are the same. So like science, whenever we repeat the experiment of any scientific phenomena, we get the same result. Result should be verifiable, that we could verify as we verify any scientific phenomenon. It must be based on objective observation and or investigation. Objective observation, the linguist should say that this thing is found in this way, how this thing is found, not how I feel that this thing is found. So this is the basic difference of a scientific and non-scientific observation. The observation and or investigation on the subject matter must be conducted objectively, using the principle of objectivity or scientific principle. This should be the result should be gathered. The result of observation and or investigation must be described objectively. It can be verified by any competent observer or investigator. As I said, anywhere in the world the same results are found whenever the same experiment is repeated. So objectivity in conducting observation and or investigation on the subject matter must be fulfilled in any scientific undertaking. Scientific undertaking mean that the phenomenon is observed, analyzed and interpreted in a scientific manner.